Hello all, it is the 13th of February 2024. I'm actually inside my house. I'm not going to spend much time outside working because I'm still trying to let my back heal. It's got a little ways to go yet. We had a lot of rain last night and snow this morning, but now it's just windy and the sun is out, so I decided to pick an easy project today. I just have this real need to keep going on this car so I can actually drive it someday. So I'll show you some of the things I've received recently. I got another electric choke here. This one should be a lot better than the one I had before. It has that spot I've been looking for that will move the choke plate in both directions, which I think is what I needed, since the original design had a loop there that did that, took care of it both ways. This has an interesting sensor, this kit does. You mount directly to the intake manifold. It senses engine temperature, and I guess somehow it regulates how this choke works. And I suspect the way it works, and I'm just guessing because I couldn't find anything in the instructions that describe what it does, but I'm assuming that as it heats up, it actually breaks the ground connection to the choke, which then takes the electricity away from it because it doesn't need it anymore. The engine's fully warmed up and it's open, although if it did that, then it would seem like the choke would close again. So actually, I don't know. I'm just speculating. I don't know how this works. I just know that I'm supposed to install it and plug that into the choke on the negative side. So I found that very curious. And they also provided covers for the old stove connections. I used a hose to connect those two together, but I guess I can just cap them off since they provided the caps for me and get rid of that hose. So that's what I'm going to work on today. It shouldn't take long, and that'll give me the chance to test it out, and that also gives me the opportunity to check the whether I fixed my exhaust leaks or not. About a week ago now, I worked on that. I also got my hardware kit, new springs, brake hold down, the little plugs that hide the adjustment, automatic adjusting screw thing. So I have what I need now to install the rear brakes, but I won't be doing that for a few more days at least because of work, the weather, my back, those kinds of things. These are the inlet tubes that I thought I was going to return to Classic Tube, but after I contacted them, they informed me that these inlet tubes are not included in the package that I ordered, which was the complete brake line package. I guess these are considered part of the caliper since they mount directly to the caliper, between the caliper and the flex hose. So I didn't return them. They also told me that I'd ordered these as stainless steel, which I didn't realize. I'm kind of glad I did, even though it was accidental, because it matches the crossover tubes that were part of the new calipers. So I can actually install those now since I ended up keeping them anyway. The other thing I've been working on, a couple days ago, I spent an hour or so in the shed. Finally started working on my AM/FM radio, see if I can get that working. But I'm making that a separate video, so I don't have that included in this update. So right now I'm going to go out to the car, install my new electric choke, and see how that works. So the instructions for this little sensor here say to mount it directly to the intake manifold as close to the water inlet or heater hose or wherever you can get it. So I thought this is pretty much an ideal location here under this water tank. So I'm working on getting that loose right now. It's coming loose pretty easily, and it'll fit in there, and it's close enough to the choke that the wire will reach. So that's the first step in this process. There's that. And then I'm supposed to put this bolt through it and put that back on. Hopefully I can do this without dropping my bolt. There we go. So I'll work on tightening that back down and go to the next step. I have my little sensor here locked down with the intake manifold bolt. I used the universal joint 9/16 to reach that more easily. So that's ready. And I took apart the old electric choke that I'm going to replace. Got my nice little red caps on these ends now. I don't have that hose connecting that anymore. And I discovered that I may have had this little metal piece right here, this cover. I may have had it on incorrectly because I was still experiencing binding even with this off. And then when I took this off, it moved freely, no problems. And then I noticed that the way it's slotted on the back, I may have had this on incorrectly or something before. And maybe that's why this thing was binding or something weird like that. But so anyway,
right now it's working great. So I'm going to put the new choke on. That's this one here. Make sure I've got my tab engaged right there in that hole, that tab right there. And I'll reuse my gasket if I didn't already lose it. It says to reuse your old gasket. Yeah, I don't even see the old gasket. Oh, there it is right here. Okay. So anyway, that's my next step, just to put the cover on. And I get rid of this old ground wire too. Don't need that anymore. Well, after all that, it appears I bought the wrong choke. This choke is opposite of the other one. The coil is exactly the opposite way than the one on the left. So I don't know. I still tempted to put it on anyway, but I noticed when I was trying to turn it closed, it wasn't closing. So that's when I realized that it's wound the opposite way, and that's not something I can just pop out and flip over. I don't think it would work like that. So anyway, looks like I might be going back to my original choke. I may have figured out what was wrong with it anyway when I discovered this little piece here. Might have been setting in here incorrectly or something. But anyway, that's where I'm at right now. All right, so I put my previous electric choke back together. It seems to be working better. We'll see how it does. So I've got my fuel source hooked back up. I walked over to the gas station, got a couple gallons of gas in it. I guess that's how much I've used with the test runs. So we'll see how the choke does now. I don't expect it to start immediately because the fuel pump has to prime itself again, and it's been sitting about a week. But at least now I can test my exhaust, see how I did with fixing the leaks back there. So we're going to see how she does. We're starting here. Okay, she has started. I think a little rough, but that's okay. Let's go see how it looks under the hood. All right, the choke appears to be operating like it's supposed to. It's opening a little too fast, actually. May have to adjust that, but all right. Now let's go check the exhaust. I'm real curious about how I did there. Let me take my earbuds out so you guys can hear the same thing I'm hearing. Just slipped off the fast line. All right, let's see how we're doing back here. Okay, yeah, that sounds much quieter. So I got these two clamps here. I don't hear any leaking at all now. Okay. Walk to the other side. That's where I had most of the leaks. Was over here. Okay. I do see something leaking up at the top there between the two resonators. But right here in this area, I'm pretty sure I got the leaks taken care of. Well, over there, I can feel it better. Okay, good. Yeah, I don't feel anything now. There, here's the seal. All right. Didn't occur to me to check the clamp between that's got the crossover pipe on it. It says right there. Tighten that one. So that one I will retighten, but all the other spots appear to be sealed up. So I'm happy about that. So anyway, at least the exhaust leaks are for the most part taken care of. She's idling kind of rough still because it's cold. Now that I've started it, I got to let it run for a little while. Not good to start it and shut it off too soon.
yeah, it's quiet. I really like how quiet it is. Okay, I feel good about the exhaust. Just gotta remember to tighten that clamp on the crossover pipe a little bit more. Oh, wait a minute, I see some water dripping on the other side. Okay, I see water dripping right there. And that's probably the flange again. Okay, and see, I didn't replace this side. I didn't do the double gasket over here. And actually I see some dripping on the other side too. I don't know if that's the flex pipe that's still leaking or what that is. But at this point, I don't think I'm going to worry too much about it. Because, you know, I didn't do any welding. And yeah, I do see some dripping going on here a little bit too. I just don't know if it's the flex pipes or if it's the flange. But it's definitely a lot less than it was. So I'm going to go with it and just not worry about that right now.
I'm going to put the transmission in gear just to see if this speedometer cable is, oh boy, turning or not. I just pushed on it and it went way in. So I think the speedometer cable is probably no good. I have another one in my shed, so I don't think anything's going to happen. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. Interesting. All right, I guess I'm not going to put it in gear. Okay, folks, I'm an idiot. This is the cable that goes to the dash. That's not the one from the transmission. So I need to unhook the other one. There we go. Okay, that's the one coming from the transmission. So I'm going to go put it in gear and see if that is turning or not. I don't have any parking brake or anything this time, so when I'm done, I can't just slam it and park. I'll just have to put it in neutral. Hopefully I'll remember that. So here we go. Hopefully I have enough fluid to be turning the wheel. Oh, look. Oh, there it goes. Okay, now we're turning. So now that cable from the transmission should also be turning. Oh yeah, that was turning too. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, look at that. It is turning. Okay, good. Now I feel better. Okay, so now I'm going to put it in neutral and let that spin down. Okay, let's push this cable back in. Maybe I just didn't have it pushed in far enough for it to engage in the cruise control. Maybe that's all that was wrong. Oh, I know what I need to do. I should have thought of this. I need to put the cable in the cruise control and put it in gear again so I can see if the gear is turning on this side right there. So plugging that back in. All right, put it in gear again. Oh, it's still turning a little bit, and that's okay. Okay, there. We're engaged again. Now let's see. Oh, it is turning. I can see it turning. Okay, that's all good. So since that's turning, let's put this in here, and that should also turn. Looks like there might not have been any problems at all with the speedometer cable. That's good. I should see it spinning here now, and I don't. That's interesting. Oh, there it goes. Okay, it just wasn't pushed in enough, so it's spinning. Okay, I'm happy with that. Put this back in neutral. Let that spin down. Okay, that's really all I can do right now. I'm not going to do anything heavy duty, so my back will heal. But I had to do something. You know how it is. I may go ahead and just splice the work I did on the AM/FM radio yesterday or the day before into this video for a short overall update. So, still not happy with the electric choke situation. I still have work to do on that. So, I'm going to contact that company I bought the latest one from and see if I can maybe get the correct one. But I think that'll do it for this short update. And if I didn't mention it already, today is the 13th of February. Take care.